You're tuning into Black and White Sports on YouTube. The no-holds-barred truth on sports. The main event starts.
All right, Black and White Sports supporters. Well, this is interesting. All right. And far as I know, the deal with the Giants and John Harbaugh is going to get finalized sometime in the next several hours. May get finalized 20 minutes after I drop this video. But the fact is, it looked like it was getting finalized yesterday morning. People were talking about this deal is done. They just got to dot some I's and cross some T's, and that's it. John Harbaugh, who I think is a very good get for the New York Giants, will be the next head football coach for the G-Men. The only problem is the deal is not done yet. And I will tell you this, and I thought I was listening to Cleveland radio this morning. God help me. What was I doing? And one of the fill-in hosts, Tony Rizzo's on vacation, so they got the C team in there, the D team, or whatever the hell they are. Anyway, I think I lasted 15 minutes. And look, I'm not going to lie to you. Before he ever brought it up, I was like, what's going on with John Harbaugh right now? So Tom Pelissero has come out, made some comments. It's caught a lot of people off guard a little bit. Because the word leaning is surely not close to finalizing deal. Now, what Cleveland radio did this morning was they suggested, is it possible that Jimmy Haslam has jumped in on this John Harbaugh situation with an offer he can't refuse? Now, here was their logic. It was Deshaun Watson. Okay. Now, in case you don't remember this, Deshaun Watson to the Atlanta Falcons was supposed to have basically been a done deal. You had players like Kyle Pitts coming out there openly talking about Deshaun Watson being the next quarterback of the Falcons. Until he wasn't, because Jimmy Haslam jumped in with $230 million fully guaranteed. Now, do I believe the Cleveland Browns have jumped in here? Jimmy Haslam jumped in here? No, I don't. Do I believe there's another team out there floating around that's trying to put a monkey in the wrench right now? Yeah, I do. I do believe that. There's a reason why this has not been done yet. The news hit Wednesday night that the Giants and John Harbaugh are working on a deal to make the former Ravens coach the next coach of New York's NFC team. As of Friday morning, there has been no announcement. So this is what Tom Pelissero said this morning on Good Morning Football.
To be clear, this is not about money. The Giants stand ready to make Harbaugh, again, one of the highest paid coaches in the NFL. But Harbaugh has been very methodical about doing his due diligence on all the interested teams. This is a guy who spent 18 years as the Ravens head coach. Prior to that, he spent 10 years with the Eagles. He knows what championship organizations look like. He's also 63 years old. This is probably his last stop in coaching. He wants to make sure it's the right fit, and he is going to trust his gut. So once again, this is leaning toward John Harbaugh becoming the next Giants head coach, but it was not and is not a foregone conclusion. Those talks continue, very well could come to a conclusion in the next few hours. Then and only then are the Giants hopeful they will be able to celebrate their biggest win.
Wow. Wow. And he makes it clear it's evidently not the money holding this up. It's something else. So Florio asked the same question we'd all would be asking. What's going on here? Pelissero seems to be hinting that someone could be keeping this particular deal from being done. Of the flurry of Wednesday night reports, none characterized the ink as being on the page. Fortunately, sports media is involved in the past year or two from a decade or so ago, which reporters often declared given a move a 95% certainty. Still, the notion that Harbaugh's arrangement may fall apart is enough to make Giants fans a little nervous. And he goes on to say exactly what I was going to say. And to make Titans and Falcons fans a little intrigued. Agreed. Particularly, I believe, the Falcons. I think that's very interesting that he has not signed a deal, and it doesn't sound like he hasn't signed it because of money. There were reports out there that he was wanting to give Matt Ryan a chance, sit down, have a talk, conversation, whatever. You have to wonder, has Arthur Blank jumped into this thing? And has he offered John Harbaugh a deal that John Harbaugh's having to actually sit back and weigh the possibility? Make a judgment call. Like he's actually making a decision right now or having to think about something we thought was already a done deal. This does, now look, again, you notice I didn't say Cleveland's in on this because I kind of doubt it. I mean, look, it is Jimmy Haslam, and you do have to wonder, could he be roaring in, with an offer that's $5 million a year more than the Giants? Sure. That's just Jimmy Haslam. I don't believe it's the Browns. I don't really believe it's the Titans. But boy, this has Falcons smell all over it. I'm not going to kid you. It does. It just feels like Arthur Blank and the Falcons may have jumped in here and has given John Harbaugh something he's got to think long and hard about. I mean, who would have seen that coming? Look, it was reported basically the deal was done. And everybody else ran with it, including myself, because, the odds of this thing eventually not being done, and the fact that we're waking up on Friday morning and this deal is not done yet, there's another team here. There's another team here. Could it be the Steelers? That's the thing that you want to talk about, something that's changed since all this went down. Mike Tomlin's gone. I still think it would be the Falcons, but it's worth uttering the Steelers out of my mouth just in case it happens, so I can be like, wow, this is kind of a bombshell. Tell me what you think. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.
Thanks for watching the show. Be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Be sure to tune in next time on Black and White Sports.